Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me, and welcome to another Let's Go to the Record Store, where we are outside Jack's Music Shop in Red Bank, New Jersey. I haven't been here for a while, but this place has a ton of CDs and so much good stuff. It's got vinyl as well, so we're gonna head inside. Let's see what we can find today. Already, right off the bat, we got some Accept Breaker. What a classic album. Always love this one. Here's another great one, the Bruce Dickinson Mandrake Project album that he put out in 2024 was such a good release. It's a personal thing, but I actually think this album here was better than the last two Iron Maiden albums. And I know that's kind of a heady statement to make, but I do think it is that good. Brand new Judas Priest Invincible Shield. This one here was an awesome release for the 2024 year. Just an absolute fantastic. Ended up as a #1 album on lots of people's lists. It was #1 for me early on, but then Deep Purple surpassed it with their fantastic album. I was talking to you guys about Axel Rudy Pel. He is an amazing guitar player, German guitar player, has had some really cool singers with him. Current guy is the singer of Hardline, Johnny G. Oli. Definitely worth checking out for both of those guys. So here's Queensryche Operation Mindcrime 2, which really did not live up to Operation Mindcrime 1. It's a decent album, but not great. I do hear that Jeff Tate is now working on Operation Mindcrime 3. No word what moniker it's going to come out under, but he is working on that. The classic Out of the Cellar from Rat, debut full-length album, reissued this year, lenticular cover on it. And it's got a bonus track, Reach for the Sky, which incidentally Stephen Pearcy has recently added to his set list and started playing live. So if you're going out to see him, you might get to hear that rare, unreleased Rat song all the way from 1983. Here's some classic 80s thrash, Sacred Reich, American Way. I love this album, it was so good, such an underrated band from the mid-80s there. Here's a cool one, Billy Squire, Signs of Life. I didn't even know this one was back in print. I've got this one here on a twofer. I forget which other CD it was with, but very cool to find this one. Classic debut from Buckcherry. This was a really great one with the song Lit Up, Check Your Head, For the Movies. Just a solid album from start to finish. It was great to have some rock back at the tail end of the 90s, early 2000s with Buckcherry. Of the later day era Alice Cooper albums, Paranormal, I think, is absolutely one of his best. I would rank this somewhere in the definite top 10 of his album releases, but maybe even in the top 5. This one here just really struck a chord with me, and I think is absolutely fantastic. David Rock Feinstein, cousin of Ronnie James Dio, part of the band Elf, went on to do the Rods, and then now this, and we've got signatures on this. Priced at $2.99. Can't beat that. Cool score here, Fair Warning, Aura. Just recently found a best of from this band and was really enjoying it, so nice to find one of these today. Here's one, Fans of the Dark. This is a band I knew nothing about until maybe a month or so back when a new album came out, and the album cover just spoke to me, so I checked it out, and it's really great, like AOR melodic rock with some synth in it, and apparently this here is their first album, so very cool find for $2.99. Girl School and their album Legacy, one of the great new wave of British heavy metal bands, totally underrated, all-girl band, often paired up with Motorhead, kind of in that same vein. Definitely deserve more attention. It's unfortunate they don't get it, but what a killer group. Great White Hooked. Gotta love this album. This is so good. Call It Rock and Roll, Can't Shake It, Desert Moon. Such a great album by Great White. Georgia Satellite's debut album, Keep Your Hands to Yourself. I grew up singing that song. That was just one of those ones that gets stuck in your head every time. All right, guys, score of the day. Head East, Choice of Weapons. Just so hard to find any of the studio albums from Head East, so this one here is definitely going home on the pile today.
How much are those bucks?
I've been exploring more power metal, so definitely going to check out some Iron Savior. I bought one album recently, really enjoying it. So again, at $2.99, you can't beat some of these prices to just take these home and give them a chance. Jane's Addiction, Great Escape. This one was a good album for them. I really liked it, even though it's later day era stuff. They're still doing it. I always like these finds. Promo type album, Jane's Addiction catalog sampler. It's got 7 tracks on it. Covers Nothing Shocking, Rito de la Habitual, and Strays on here. Kingdom Come. I know a lot of people bash them for being that Led Zeppelin sound, but I think they were a fantastic band. Well, you guys know I like to buy a CD for the car now and then, so I don't have to take the ones from the house. And Lynch Mob Wicked Sensation is one of those ones I've been looking for. It is just a great album that I can listen to all the time. I think I need some Lynch in the car, so this one's going home with me today. These later era Frank Marino albums are hard to come by too, so that's kind of a nice score. I've already got it, but I would definitely recommend someone picking it up at that price. Here's one you don't see every day, the Screaming Jets, All for One. This is their 1991 album, definitely in the vein of the late 80s, early 90s rock. I throw them in the glam metal category. I know some of you guys would probably argue with that, but great band nonetheless. Jolan Turner album, JLT. This was one of those ones back in the day I could only get as a Japanese import, but was such a great album. Don't know what they were trying to do here with the album cover and the bluish green tint to everything, kind of strange, but I really did like this album and would recommend it if you were a Jolan Turner fan. JLT. Classic Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry. What a great album. I grew up on this thing, man. It was one of the first cassettes I had. I used to love taking it when I first learned to drive, got my license, go out on the road and play this thing at 10. It was so good. third album from Thunder, Behind Closed Doors. Kind of ran under the radar because it was past their heyday, but still one of a good one. Oh, look at this one here, Triumph, Allied Forces, one of the classic albums from them. Can't go wrong, Magic Power. Love this one here, Fight the Good Fight. Here's a cool one from Wasted, Pete Way, formerly UFO, doing his own thing here. Boot from the Dead. They had an album called Back from the Dead, so this one here being live album in 2005, Wasted.
Thank you. Good one, man. Two now. Thank you.
All right, so I'm back from Jack's. What an amazing place that was. They're in Red Bank, New Jersey, and I had an amazing visit. As you guys saw, there are just like miles of CDs in there. There's so much cool stuff. I walked out with, let's see, actually 33. This here is a box of 30. I did buy 2 for the car, as I talked about in the video. I bought a Lynch Mob and I bought Poison's Native Tongue, 2 albums I really, really like. And when they're inexpensive like that, I like to get them and then I can just leave it in the car and I don't have to worry about it. But I'm just gonna run through these very fast because 31 CDs sitting here and in no particular order. Luckily they gave me this box to walk out with here and they're all sealed. Such great prices on these things. 38 Special Tour de Force. This is an album I was missing. I was talking about some power metal, so I got some more Iron Savior. I know there's another one that's in here somewhere. I needed a jewel case copy of the Skid Row. I had a little promo copy of this for years. It's not a great album, but I wanted a jewel case copy of it. Fair Warning, talked about them, a band that I just recently picked up a best of. So good. So I'm looking forward to diving into this band so much more. Group called Bitch, and this is a Rose by Any Other Name. Cool Metal Blades record released from the 80s. Primal Fear, keeping on that power metal vein of stuff. A best of for Primal Fear. I'm really excited about that, so I can dive in and see what at least they consider to be the best, and then I'm gonna expand from there. But I've got the debut and I have the newest album, so right now I've only got those 2 and I just added these 2 to it. Ed Guy, Tobias Sammet, hope I'm saying his name right, the guy that does the Avantasia projects. I think he does some other different ones, but this guy here, Ed Guy, right? So just another album, one I had eyed at another store and didn't pick up. Here's some of that other Iron Savior that I had. There's another one, all in the power metal vein. Master Plane MK2, I was missing this one. I now have, I think they have 5 total CDs, but I have all of them. So really excited to complete my Master Plan collection. Axel Rudy Pel, I talk about him all the time. Amazing guitar work from that guy, plus Johnny Gioli of Hardline. What is not to like? Plus Bobby Rondinelli is on drums for this album here. The other guys I probably come from someplace I don't recognize or don't know. Heat, Freedom Rock, they've been reissuing these as remixes, but this one here, the original, plus it's a jewel case. So I'm looking forward to checking out the difference in the mix. That's an Avalon release, which is I don't know if it's a Japanese, but those are import ones, so that's kind of cool. Fans of the Dark, talked about this in the video. Excited to check that out. It's a newer band. And got Doro. This one here, Raise Your Fist. I have this as one of those special, I think they call them the ebook. They're the hardcover and the CD is in it. It's got some bonus stuff, but it doesn't fit anything. It's taller than an average CD and it's just awkward. Of course, you know me, I got that jewel case one so I can have that finally. Edge of Forever, I have one of their albums. Alessandro Del Vecchio is part of this. I forget who else. but I really, really liked it. Just good straight ahead AOR melodic rock. So second album, don't know if they have a newer one. This is 2022. I think they might have, 3 or so out there. Okay, so in the video, I showed you guys when I found this Head East album. Score of the Day, 1988 album. I think it was the last album they did. And as soon as I put down the camera, I found this one, Raise a Little Hell. This one here is re-recordings from later on. It's not new, new original material at the time, but it's still another Head East album. So I walked out with 2 Head East albums. I only have 3 technically, because they just did one. They just released a re-recordings type thing. But I have the debut, Flat as a Pancake, and I have one of the other ones, I forget its name now, and I have one on vinyl. So I have those 3, but it's like, oh my God, their stuff is just so hard to come by. All right, so I looked at this band at Rock Fantasy, and I didn't end up picking anything up, but I did this time. Axis, their second album, I think it's 1990, it says on the back here. Power metal, it's got the high vocals in it. I'm not too into the vocals, but it was growing on me the more I was listening to it. So I said, I'm gonna take a chance on it at $2.99. It might be right up my alley when I can listen to it. Plus, it's different when you listen to it from your stereo system at home than it is through headphones. Even though I have those Bose noise canceling, really nice headphones, there's something different about it. Picked up the Gary Moore live album. This one here, this was another big score for me. Frank Marino of Mahogany Rush, Full Circle. I think this is like 1990. I don't see the date offhand, but this is Steamhammer SPV, so it would be an import copy of this. I've never come across it, and I haven't found one for a decent price. Reese, so this is David Reese, the guy that took over for Udo in Accept, and then also did his own stuff with Bangalore Choir solo album. So it's just some cool finds all day long. Thunder, an acoustic album. Treat, AOR melodic rock stuff. I don't know much about them, but I have a couple of their things. Another thing related to Accept, Udo. This is a CD single actually, but it has a bunch of unreleased material, so it's like an EP. I decided to go ahead and pick it up and have that. I can always take some more. See if I say the guy's name right. Throb England. I picked up a tribute album that he did to Judas Priest, and I really liked it. And none of his stuff is in print, at least that I could get through Amazon. So album of original material here now. I want to check out what he sounds like just on his own. Torch, group out of the 80s. I think this is a later day era album. I could be wrong. Dark Sinner, haven't looked it up just yet, but I listened to it and it sounds like it's out of the 80s, so that works for me. Eclipse, Eric Martinson, fantastic AOR melodic rock. Have one of their albums in my collection as a promo. I don't get it out very often, but I see his name everywhere, so I'm gonna finally dig into him. Michael Schenker Group, a BBC album, recordings from that, and then this one, the Billy Squire album called Signs of Life. This is one of those Japanese reissues. Trying to think of the label that's doing it, but Universal Japan is putting those out at regular prices, so $15.99. So you're getting the Japanese version of it, and it's back in print, but you're only paying US domestic prices, so very cool. But there you go, that was 31 CDs we just went through there. Actually, this one, I didn't show you my Virgin Steel pickup. 2 CD set, $6.99, sealed. So there you go, now 31 CDs, plus the 2 I bought in my car, so 33 CDs. So this week, this Wednesday, when it rolls around and I do my new music finds, it's gonna be a mega week because I've got 17 already, plus you add in these 33 here, it's gonna be a 50 CD mega haul come this Wednesday. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about Jackson Red Bank, and if you're ever around that area, definitely visit because it is a fun place with miles of CDs. All right, everyone, take care, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.